She wasn't born into royalty, just an orphan raised in exile. Yet she was chosen not by chance, positioned by divine purpose, hidden behind palace walls. Her name was Esther, and this isn't just the story of a queen. It's the story of how God saved an entire nation through the most unlikely of heroes. In the days of King Xerxes, the Persian Empire stretched across 127 provinces. From his throne in Susa, he reigned with absolute authority. To display his greatness, Xerxes held a lavish feast. For 180 days, gold goblets overflowed with royal wine. Nobles, princes, and military leaders gathered from across the empire. But on the seventh day, when the king was merry with wine, he ordered Queen Vashti to appear before his guests, wearing her royal crown so they could admire her beauty. Vashti refused. She would not parade herself before a drunken crowd. The king's pride was wounded. His own queen had publicly defied him. In his rage, Xerxes banished Vashti from the throne forever. Little did anyone know, God's unseen hand had just begun to move. Beautiful, young women would be gathered from every province. Among those brought to the palace was a young Jewish orphan named Hadassah, known by her Persian name Esther. She had been raised by her cousin Mordecai, a faithful Jew living in Susa. He had taught her to trust in God and to keep her Jewish identity hidden.
You cannot breathe a word of this to anyone.
And look at you, absolutely radiant. You have nothing to fear. We are all so proud
When
of you.
Esther
We
entered
are
the palace,
absolutely stunning, Esma.
she found favor in everyone's eyes,
Go home, right, girls?
not through demands or displays of pride, but through humility and quiet grace. For 12 months, Esther prepared for her one appearance before the king. And when she finally stood before, he was captivated. The king loved Esther more than all the other women. He placed the royal crown upon her head, making her queen of the Persian Empire. A banquet was held in her honor. Gifts were sent across the land, but no one knew she was a Jew. God had placed his servant in the palace. While Esther lived in the palace, Mordecai spent his days at the king's gate. One day he overheard something chilling. Two of the king's guards were plotting to assassinate Xerxes. Mordecai sent word to Esther. The conspirators were executed. His loyalty recorded in the royal chronicles, but no reward was given. After some time, King Xerxes promoted a man named Haman to the highest rank. All were ordered to bow before him, but Mordecai refused. Day after day, he stood tall while others knelt. When Haman learned that Mordecai was a Jew, his hatred grew monstrous. Haman didn't just want to punish one man. He wanted to destroy all Jews. With cunning words, Haman approached the king. The king gave Haman his signet ring. The decree was sealed. On the 13th day of the 12th month, every Jew was to be killed. When Mordecai learned of the decree, he tore his clothes and wept bitterly. Across the empire, Jews fasted and mourned, as their destruction seemed certain. When Esther heard of Mordecai's mourning, she sent a messenger to discover why. Mordecai urged her to approach the king and plead for her people, but Esther was afraid. Anyone who approached the king unsummoned faced death. Perhaps she had been made queen for such a time as this. She asked Mordecai to gather all Jews in Susa, to fast for 3 days. If she perished, she perished. On the 3rd day, dressed in her royal robes, Esther walked toward the inner court. Every step could be her last. The king sat upon his throne. When he saw Esther, he extended the golden scepter. She invited the king and Haman to a banquet.
Thank you, my king.
Only then would she share her request.
The night is still young, and we have much to discuss.
That very night, King Xerxes could not sleep. One entry caught his attention. Mordecai's name, he had saved the king's life,
Xerxes, my king, you
yet
have
never
betrayed
been
me. I
rewarded.
did not betray you.
Haman came to ask permission to hang Mordecai.
He is
The
traitor,
king
Xerxes.
commanded him
He
to honor
orchestrated
Mordecai
everything.
instead. At the second banquet, Esther finally spoke. She pleaded for her life and her people. Esther pointed to Haman. The adversary and enemy is this wicked man. Haman was hanged on the gallows. He had prepared for another. A new decree gave Jews the right to defend themselves. On the appointed day, they stood united and defeated their enemies. What was meant for destruction, God used for salvation. Mourning turned to joy.